Hey guys, Nikhil here from One Work. Joining me is my partner Kishore. What's up, man?
All going good. First time on camera.
So, I don't know if you follow us, but if you know me, you know One Work. We manage a lot of YouTube channels. We have a lot of our own channels, and we manage a lot of our customers' channel. We run a YouTube marketing agency, and Kishore here is the man behind the scenes for all of the content. And before we started One Work, Kishore was already a successful YouTuber with a channel which was in trending a lot of times. You can check out the channel. We'll link it in the description. He's no longer active on that channel, but it has 3 lakh subscribers. It's back in 2017.
Yeah.
And we started One Work in 2019. So over the last 4 years, we've learned a lot about YouTube, and we'd love to share some thoughts with you. So do subscribe to One Work. We'll be uploading a lot of videos like this. But today's topic is something which you wouldn't expect a YouTube agency to talk about, which is why you should not start a YouTube channel.
That's a good topic. Rather than pushing everyone that it's free, just do it.
So normally, guys, when I meet business owners, right, I tell this. We go after corporates, we go after companies who want to build their presence online, and YouTube is one of the best places to do that. But normally, when I go, as Kishore said, I'll be like, hey, YouTube is free, you can upload videos and this and that. But we wanted to discuss the cons, the negatives of starting a YouTube channel, especially for different categories of people. So we'll talk about for companies, what are the cons of starting a YouTube channel. For creators, someone who wants to be a creator, why it may not be the best thing. For job employees, people working corporate jobs, if they're thinking of YouTube as a passive income, which a lot of people sell courses on,
and later want to quit their jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Build a very negative connotation around it. And then one main target audience, which I see happening a lot today, is students, and why it may not be the best idea. So Kishore, before we start,
Yes.
you started a YouTube channel when you were a student. So let's start with that.
So it's half student, half graduate.
So that's the key here. And Kishore will explain his experience and what are the pros and cons of that. But go ahead. So you were half student, half graduate. So what do you mean by that?
So yeah, my college was over,
Mhm.
but I had some subjects to be cleared.
So you had some backs basically.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was that time. So I did. There was no classes to attend. All my
Right.
class was over.
Right.
I had a couple of subjects. I had to attempt again to clear them.
Mhm.
So at that point, literally jobless.
Right.
Overall, during my college only, I was jobless. I mean, jobless as in didn't have anything to do.
Right.
Even here it's the same. Lot of leisure time
Right.
and lot of friends. We need to do something other than regular partying. We are thinking of let's do something interesting.
Right.
So, and I was also interested in photography. So I purchased to do a lot of things to get my dad purchase a camera for me.
Right.
I used it for photography here and there. And there was that device that was there that I can use for something.
Right.
And it was a time where in that age, people are like, some people are interested in getting into movies,
Right.
for them to be on screen.
Right.
There's one set of people like that. Some people want to be famous.
Right.
I was a person who wants to be behind the camera, record, get
Right.
into technical stuff and all these things.
Yeah.
So my group had all these kind of people.
Right.
So the people who wants to get famous, they were trying to get innovative and see how we can do something like this. And I was into figuring out, okay, how can we do this?
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. So generally we used to go through a lot of videos, normal content collection.
Like anyone would.
Yeah. So that was so there was one of a friend named Syed.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's a regular tradition in India
Uh-huh.
when there's Ramzan.
Huh.
You call up all your Muslim friends and it's like, where's my biryani? That's regular because those biryanis are the best.
Yeah.
So it was a regular thing that every Ramzan we go to their home, have
Right.
biryani.
Right.
Thinking like it's common. Why don't we make a video out of it?
Uh-huh.
This land then. We created some characters. It was actually Ramzan and we were actually going to their home to have biryani.
Uh-huh.
That way we just made a video
Mm-hmm.
saying that how different kinds of people are. Just one of the reference was Lord Indian.
A skit. You made a skit.
Yes. So it's like how the different types of characters that
Right.
you see or your Muslim friend sees and experiences.
So this
Getting
is in 2017. There was no real agenda as such. You were just like, I want. Some of the people were just like, let's get more views or get famous. That's it.
Yes. So there are different kinds of people involved in this.
Right.
For some people, if you are on camera, if you're on screen, people will be excited.
Right.
Oh yeah, I like this. I want to do this.
Yeah. So guys, you can check out his channel. They had a superb group of friends. Some of them are bodybuilders, good looking dudes. I can imagine why they wanted to come on camera.
So because that's the highest level of the highest thing you'd like to reach, a dream you want to be, a celebrity.
Right. Become a celebrity. Yeah.
And there's a starting step.
Right.
There's an opportunity. Everyone wants to give it a try.
Correct.
So yeah, everyone were interested in it. We did it. We made a small skit around this
And it worked.
concept. Yeah.
And some of the videos, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first video.
Uh-huh.
And then we went around like, okay, this is people are liking this. They like the humor, like the concept. And then later we went to this pranks.
Right.
And we came out with some different concepts which we were trying. And so we will use some very common concepts as well, but try to add in more masala, add in more creativity or intensity to those scripts.
But the first thing was that you had a lot of time at that time.
Yes.
And guys, here comes the first con. If you're a student, until and unless you have a lot of time, getting a video shot, edited, published is very, very time consuming. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And those were the days I was not a video editor. I was not a videographer.
Okay.
As zero expertise on YouTube.
Huh.
Everything was from zero. I knew how to use a camera. I knew the basics of all these things.
Right.
But how do you capture something on ground?
Mm-hmm.
There's a person standing some 50 feet or 100 feet away.
Right.
He's doing something over there.
Right.
And it's with public, impromptu. Just approaching someone, doing something.
So
they
guys,
should not see the camera.
2017 YouTube India. So in the US and other regions, you could still find a lot of social experiment channels and prank channels. But YouTube India, you could find barely anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were figuring this out on the ground.
Yeah. I had only one reference of this for entire execution of this prank is in around 2007 or 8. These regional language channels were doing it.
Okay.
There was one channel, Odia TV, that was doing it.
Okay.
They had a slot every Saturday, half an hour slot they had for this.
They would do all this time pass.
Yeah. So those guys did this to my neighbors.
Okay.
To the 6 or 7.
So that's why you heard that story.
I remember how the execution was.
Oh.
So there was a car just parked some 1,500 feet away. Right. They had curtains and all inside and covered the camera. And there's a person who's on ground just doing the pranks.
Okay.
So I see there was like the prank turned out into a fight and all because I don't remember what the concept was, but turned out into a fight. People are screaming. We came out and saw. After the end of the fight, they pointed them towards a car where there was a camera inside. So when they pointed out, they opened the curtains. Then we could see the camera.
Oh my God.
So, and after they showed the camera, people were chill because they brought canes, sticks and all to
hit.
Yeah, it was a little fight.
Wow.
But when they saw the camera, that was cool. That was like, okay, I remember those scenes. Like, to whatever extremes you go, you show a camera, it's cool down. But that was the thing I figured out for recording these pranks.
Okay.
But so I learned like how to be on ground, how to shoot these things, how to plan out the shoots.
Okay.
Then after the shoot was done, we come to editing.
Right.
Again, had to see what kind of softwares are available for free.
Right. We are students, you have no money, obviously.
Yeah. Everywhere you try to, spending is not an idea anywhere.
Right.
You try to get free.
Right.
So, yeah. tried a lot of softwares and learning the softwares, because initial 3-4 videos I only knew what has to be shown because I was there behind the camera while doing the pranks. I knew which was the sweet moments that would create a lot of interest to people. I know what has to be shown. I don't know how to do it. So again, laptop would be there. As an engineering student, would have a laptop. I don't know what the specs of the laptop were. I don't know what the requirements of the software is.
Right.
Keep adding softwares, trying them out, using the footage, started experimenting. So initially, start working somewhere around 9 or 10 at night. It would go till morning 5, 6. Sit alone, keep seeing what all can be done, how to use it, what all, try different versions of the videos. And in the morning, our friends would come back to the room because some people would stay nearby. They'd come back to the room. We'd review the video, see how it come out. So then there'd be some feedbacks.
This is for one single video.
Yeah.
So guys, of course, a lot of these things are a lot easier today, but I want the students out there to understand this, that if you can see laugh at first sight videos, they don't look like some very high production videos.
Yeah.
Right?
Not at all.
But are you understanding the amount of time which goes into creating this video? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's huge amount of time. And the reason you were able to afford to do it is because you had yearbacks and you didn't have to attend classes.
Yes. And we want to try out something. And there are a bunch of people who had similar interest.
Yeah. So in their case, I think there were 5 people or 4 people.
The core, there were 5 people. And we had a lot of other friends who wanted to just do time passes. Like, oh, you're doing shooting.
Even
oh,
I'll come.
I'll come. I'll be there. Oh, you want me to do pranks? I'll do it. So
you're talking about, in terms of sheer man hours, if you calculate, you're talking about, say, 10 people for one video putting about 20 hours, 30 hours.
So during the weekends, we would shoot. So the shoot would go for around 6 or 7 hours. We'd start at around 8 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It would end at around 5 till the light goes. And that would end there only if we got some good moments.
So you're talking about what? 20 hours per person, about 10 hours, 200, 300 hours.
Yeah. And we'd roam around in a car, looking for spots, waiting for people, set the cameras.
Point here is this, that if you're thinking of YouTube, especially as a student, you will have academic commitments and responsibilities. And you like it or not, that has to be your priority. Kishore's case was unique, wherein you had few backs, so you got a little bit more free time. But and of course, in his case, because he had interest in photography and he's transitioned to this industry, those moments may have made sense.
And also the financial support that you would be needing for these things.
Yeah.
Because if you go out for a shoot, we are 10 people going out. We'll need a car, couple of people in bikes.
Right.
We are out from morning to evening.
So you need fuel for all of it.
Food, all these things.
Right.
And we were lucky that some of our teammates
were well off.
No, were working.
Oh, they were working.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're 4 years older than me.
Okay.
They were already working in corporates.
So they had enough funds.
Yeah. And at that time, they had quit their jobs. Job shiftings were going on. So they had also some free time.
They had some savings.
Yes. So that's very small amount, but still, that was very much needed to get these things
for
done.
A student. Even that small amount will be huge, man.
Yeah. So assume we stop for a break in a bakery. Everyone has some snacks. So that's
700 rupees bill.
No, not even that much. 300, 400. That would also be too much for
a student. Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the friends who were working, they were kind of that. Yeah, we'll take it. What's there in this small amount? We're working on something. Let's do it. So when it's successful, something comes up, then later we can manage. But for now, I'll give it. Fuel for their vehicles, all these things would be there.
Having a vehicle itself.
Yeah.
So guys, I mean, you're talking about this. There's significant amount of time commitment, significant amount of financial pressure. And if you're doing this along with your studies, there's significant amount of stress and you may be burning yourself out. Because I will tell you one thing, I have personally experienced this while working with Kishore, working with our team members. Shooting, editing, going through that grind of finding good quality footage which will be appealing to someone, it is extremely stressful. It will burn you out. You will not even realize. When I say burnout, people think, burnout will happen at later ages and all. No, on a day-to-day basis, there'll be a limit to the number of hours your brain can also function, and you will start hitting that limit very soon. So imagine you have a examination few weeks later, and you get burnt out today. You will not have the mind space to prepare.
Yeah, during the edit times, so weekends shoot happen. So maybe Saturday and Sunday shoots happen. Sunday night nothing happens. Monday night we start for editing. So Monday full night is editing. Tuesday full day rest sleep. Tuesday evening we again meet, review the footage whatever we have, the rough cuts what we have,
And then edit again.
yeah. And Tuesday night sit for second round of editing. Wednesday full days rest. Wednesday night we again sit and review. You think it's good, then go with the thumbnail. What has to be done for thumbnail?
So this is an additional point. He mentioned shooting, planning the video, scripting, having on-ground understanding or direction, editing, and then now he's talking about thumbnail creation.
Yeah. So what's the best thing that will interest the audience to click? So even at then also with zero knowledge about marketing, numbers, all those things, it was just instincts like what would make someone to open the video.
So nowadays, I'm sure you'll watch a lot of YouTubers talk about having high CTR, click-through rates, and having high audience retention. Essentially, this is what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Getting and working and trying to improve on these skills is going to take significant amount of time. This is not the biggest. One of the worst things I've seen on YouTube, on Google, when people say if you start a YouTube channel, you can earn a passive income. They're just scamming you. Trust me, it is a full-time job.
More than full time, you need to work initial 1 year, you need to spend more than 12 hours a day on this.
Absolutely. I can share from my own experience. So I'll talk about it later when we started OneWork and when we started our first YouTube channel as well. But this is him as a student where he had free time and there were 5 other people helping out.
Yeah.
That's what made that channel big, right?
Yes. It was not a one-man job. It was not at all.
And multiple man job with resources, with finances,
Yeah.
with free time.
We had a place to do all these things.
Oh, this is another thing. So because they were doing pranks, I remember him telling me this story that they would have a lot of run-ins with the local police as well.
And the support with all the local people. So some of my teammates were locals.
Right.
So I'm not from Bangalore.
Right.
So I was here staying with my friends.
You had come here for college.
Yeah. Some of the friends were locals. So whenever such scenarios come up, so they would meet the cop. He'd be a known guy. ಆರಾಮಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಭಾಳ ದಿನ ಆಯ್ತು ಸಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇಲ್ಬೇಕು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ಸಾರ್ಟೆಡ್.
So why I'm telling you all of this was back in 2017 when YouTube in India was still growing and there was a lot less competition. Now across industry, if you're thinking I'll start a gaming channel, if you're thinking I'll start a prank channel, if you're thinking I'll start travel blog, you're talking about now competing with thousands and thousands of other channels. I think back then you would not even have 50 or 100 channels.
No. So the number of channels were not as high. I can say it's like 5-6% of the number of channels that we have today.
Wow.
Because there's one thing is the limitation of technology.
Right.
Access to technology, access to
hardware, to smartphones.
Yeah. So the camera that I was using then, that was something I had to fight in my home to get the camera because camera is something very expensive.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of things to get that camera.
Yeah, okay. He went on Bhook Hartal at home. He said, I won't eat anything.
Nothing to that side, but again, constant these things like wanted. Okay. So
And the sad part is they did this in 2017 to upload a single video. The expectation of video quality these days from audience, from your immediate circle, you will get encouragement for sure. But you are, as a student at a very young age, you're exposing yourself to a lot of online bullying and harassment. And at that age, when something like this starts happening, it can kill your self-esteem very, very quickly.
yeah, so we have seen a lot of comments
So
like that.
you guys got it despite putting so much effort.
Yeah. So we were like, ignore it. So we have a lot of
you
comments.
had a lot of support structure at that time itself. You had 10 people, 5 people.
Even then, see, I'd be the one who'd be monitoring the comments. I'd be managing the entire channel.
Right.
There's something that comes up also. I'll be the one who'll be deciding whether I should send it to my team or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd go through it. I have 100 good comments. I have 2 or 3 comments which is like, oh, why are you troubling public? And all those things. We see those comments. Yeah, that's one side of view. It's like,
What you're saying is fair.
But at the end of the video, we're just letting them go with a light movement, saying that, okay, this is what it is. This is just for fun. Yeah, they smile and they walk away.
Right. These are the good comments you could say. But I'm sure there'd be comments where they would be bullying you, harassing you.
Yeah, so that would be there. But again, at the end of this, he is jobless to send that comment.
No, so what I'm trying to say, Kishore, is this, that you were in a better situation to be able to
handle that or take
yeah
that.
so you were in a situation where you could handle it,
Yeah.
or you had that maturity at the time. I mean, you also started the channel a lot later, right? When you were 22, 20, 21.
Yeah.
So by that time you have a lot more maturity. I see kids who are 13, 14, 12-year-olds
Yeah,
who are trying to launch channel.
They got into depression and suicidal thoughts because of online comments for their videos.
Exactly. So this is my point. As a student, this should not be your priority. Kishore did this at the last year of his engineering. So he's pretty much at the end of his studying life. And the earlier you start, the more sensitive you will be and the more worried you will be about comments, about all these things. And if you're a parent who's listening to this video, it's good that you're encouraging your kid to start putting out content. But please keep this in mind that online harassment is a very real thing. And especially in a country like India, this is still very new to us.
And it's also an age where this generation wants quick results.
This is another problem wherein if your kids don't see a lot of views and all of that.
Yeah, that they'll also get demotivated there. And one single comment on the
can just
side
break them.
Yeah.
So this is a major, major disadvantage, especially as a student. Continuing further, I see a lot of students who should be... See, my point is not that you should not at all be putting up content on YouTube. Even as a student, I personally feel had I started earlier, it would be great. My point is you should be aware that these are the disadvantages or the cons. The purpose of this video is that. So I see a lot of students thinking about how can I make money off of YouTube? And they'll end up pressuring their parents on buying expensive equipment. I remember this when one of our channels had crossed about 50,000 subscribers. A cousin of mine had asked me that, hey, I want my son or daughter to become a YouTuber. So she sent me this list. And you remember we discussed this. We were running a YouTube agency and we didn't have that grade of equipment. The list which the cousin had sent us. That was almost like a 4.5 lakh rupee worth of equipment. Cameras, which learning how to use that camera itself takes months together to effectively use that camera. And I knew that family and I knew their financial condition was not that great that they could, just go splurge 5 lakhs on equipment. It wouldn't affect them.
It's not something that today you spend 5 lakhs, next month you're at least getting some 20,000-30,000. It's not like that.
Yeah, it would be. And I explained to them, I was like, look, thinking that you can spend a lot of money on equipment and become successful on YouTube and make a ROI is a very far-fetched dream. That's most likely not going to happen. And if you have seen some stories, there'll be a lot of things behind the scenes which you have not seen.
We only see the influence that was successful,
Yeah,
but compare it with the number of channels that are created every day.
yeah, it's a no-brainer. So I strongly suggested and recommended against it, because thinking that you'll be able to make money off of YouTube, even now we recommend this to people, that it is incredibly inconsistent if the only source of your income is YouTube. So as a student, I can assure you there's much better ways of making money than just thinking of setting up a YouTube channel and assuming that this will end up making you money. As a student, if you want to make a side income, I would suggest taking up apprenticeship kind of roles in companies.
Start freelancing on Fiverr, Upwork.
Start freelancing, hone in your skills. If you want to do YouTube, that shouldn't be your source of income, or you shouldn't be putting that pressure on your parents to buy you equipment. Your parents will not tell you no. I'm fortunate enough that I'll soon be having a kid, and I know that if the kid asks me something, I'll find a way to, buy it. But the point here is this: you'll have to learn the value of that money, and the second part is it can get expensive as you start going more and more into it. A simple example is you may ask your parent for a smartphone. So maybe, okay, they have a camera now. But then eventually, once you start researching, you realize, oh, I need a light. And then I need a mic. And then I need another light. And then, oh, my videos are not good enough. I need a camera. And instead of focusing on the real thing, which is learning how to communicate, learning how to tell stories, learning how to run operations, learning how to build teams, these are the human skills. And then technical skills like learning deep engineering skills or deep science skills, deep commerce skills, whatever these are.
So I guess people here, these is what they see as like being a YouTuber is how to use YouTube, how to record and edit a video.
Right.
But what's in the video? Nobody's worried about it.
And I will tell you this, right now, irrespective of whether you're a student or if you're a job worker or looking at a passive income, or you're an entrepreneur, or you want to be a creator and you're at a good age, what we've found, so to give you some context, combined we manage YouTube channels worth almost 2-3 million subscribers.
Yeah.
And every month, all our channels put together get about 5 million, 10 million views for ourselves, for our clients. I can tell you this for sure, the videos which work is content which people have not seen. They have not seen, they have not heard of. And if you're just going to do another generic form of content, forget about it.
Yeah. And yeah, if you take reference of any channel,
right,
like, I want to be like this guy.
The game is over right there.
Yeah. So,
right?
Just giving the same thing. And the person who you have seen is probably a very popular channel. That's why that was recommended to you.
Right.
He's already successful.
Yeah.
And he is one among thousands of other channels in that same niche that he has done.
Correct.
So now you want to be like him. So you'll add on to the other 9,999 channels which were not successful.
So the likelihood of you making money and affecting your career in a negative way is a lot higher if you pursue YouTube.
Yeah, there's one more thing, the opportunity cost that.
So the opportunity cost is too massive because of the amount of time commitment which goes into it.
And in that age.
Exactly. And the sad part is, especially when you're a student, because there's very little pressure on you because you're at that age, you're 13, 14, 15, like I'm talking about between 13 to 20, this age, the 7 years, where it's very easy to get swayed. It's critical to build skills, to build knowledge, to build valuable insights, and to build your network, which will help you throughout your life. I remember that the current business which we are in, a lot of things which I try to implement, a lot of skills which I've built now, the foundations of that were laid at that time, either by professors or by me just reading upon interests and going deeper and deeper and deeper into topics. By putting all that effort into just understanding how YouTube works, maybe experimenting on some photos and videos, experimenting on some videos and shorts and things like that is good. Having that knowledge is good. But committing weeks and weeks or hours and hours or months and months on this may not be the right path. This should be At this age, YouTube should be a simple project for you. It shouldn't be your main focus. What do you think about that, Kishore?
So yeah. So overall, the idea should be like people. Yeah, people audience are on YouTube, similarly on all other platforms, and even you should see that YouTube is YouTube. Like I want to crack YouTube. It's not the tool you're cracking or the platform you're cracking. People don't come to YouTube simply like I want to watch some random video. They want to watch a person talk, know their opinions, get into their life, understand what they're doing. It's not a platform that you need to crack. It's you as a personality, how you need to show up to people, what do you want to show to the people. And
What are your expertise and what are your opinions?
yes, that's what people want to watch. It's not like, yeah, you're on YouTube, some random YouTube video they'll watch. It's not like that. Once you connect to your audience, you go and stand in a metro train and talk. People will listen to you. It's not that you need to be on YouTube and YouTube is the platform to do.
Right.
If you build that personality, or if you get
If you
into the
build
clarity
yourself
of,
up as a person at
yeah,
that level.
if you get that clarity, YouTube is just another platform.
Exactly. So that's an important thing to note, guys. It should be a project and it's a tool. It's just another platform. It will not replace real knowledge, empirical knowledge, or specific knowledge which you build. It will not replace a personality which you'll have to develop. These are hard things to do. They require a lot of studying, a lot of practice.
Because some people, some influencers, some people want to be influencers in the West. They get onto TikTok. You've seen a lot of stories where people are completely different online.
Right.
They have these memes also, reality versus TikTok or Instagram. So people have lost their self, gone into depressions because the amount of effort they put to show up as a certain image, which they are not actually true
Correct.
on online on Instagram or TikTok, that will put them into confusion of like who they actually are.
So this raises a very nice point. You'll hear this term called authentic pop up a lot when you're exploring whether you want to do YouTube or not. And the point which Kishore is trying to make is how will you show your authentic self if you don't know what your authentic self is?
You're only being influenced by someone else who's popular because he has a certain image.
Exactly.
You want to replicate that, but it's not you.
So these are some of the cons. I want to stress on few more cons. This may be referred to your parents if kids don't understand this. As a student, a male or a female student, you're exposing yourself to predators. That's one major issue, especially in India. I can tell you that. The second thing is once you put up content online, even if you delete it later, it's not going anywhere. Someone else can definitely come back and find it. And in the future, it may create blockers for you, which you wouldn't have even thought. And one final point, you have faced this a little bit. You told me you guys were able to manage it well, but you will, at that age, you will not know what legal issues you're falling into, which kind of wrong crowds attention you're attracting, and how it may permanently damage your life. So
Yeah.
you can share your experience about this.
So this mainly about uh, on ground issues that we would be facing.
Right.
Right. So those things we were able to handle only because there was someone.
Right. You had a
was
lot
like-
of run ins with the police.
Yeah. If not for that, I think that this happened in the third shoot only.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys were their hands were on tripod.
Mm.
So like the just taking the equipment and putting it into the police jeep.
Wow.
Like get in. So it happened couple of times. So these things, if nobody was there, even if I was there alone,
As a student, if you didn't have your friends who were older
Yeah.
than you, yeah.
there's certain way people know that how to deal with authorities over here. But even if I go that way also, not sure if I was coming out safe, if my equipment was safe,
Correct.
if I would be ready to record another video.
Right.
Because I'd be scared if another scene
No,
like this
forget about
repeats.
scared. There would randomly be a case against your name, and in the future, you
Yeah.
had to put it everywhere in your job application, for
Yeah.
example.
So then there's like creating public nuisance. All
Yeah.
these things would come up.
Yeah.
And by chance, if I in future if I decided to apply for any government jobs,
You wouldn't
public
have been
service
able to.
exams, then that would be a
Black
major
mark.
and done. And that was not something that I've done intentionally. I was had
You
some
didn't even know
yeah
that
and,
you were doing something wrong.
and that came up in my profile, and I would regret it throughout my life. Okay, I lost a major opportunity because of this.
By the way, guys, Kishore also told me that another channel recently was trying to do similar videos like them, and they had a lot of run-ins, right?
So there's one major very popular idea, that prank idea, that's like dressing up like a ghost and scaring people. It was majorly popular because of Jalal's. Yeah.
Okay.
So we tried to replicate it. We did it again. We tried to go to the extremes because that's what audience also liked. That's why we got so quick popularity. So we tried to go to the extremes, but again, no violence, not harming anyone, but again, trying to get as much content as possible. So yeah, we roamed around the streets, on the highways at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock at night, find people who are there sleeping. Again, we used to look for people, for example, security guards, night security guards. They should be awake, but they're sleeping. We'd
So,
go and
guys, you
disturb
should
them.
watch this video. I'll link it in the description. It's a hilarious video. I will say this, but
So we'd go and disturb them. I mean, try to scare them as ghosts. So all
Right.
these things would happen. So that worked well.
Okay.
That video has around 8 or 10 million views, I guess. So worked well. So someone in the close by area also planned doing it. I don't know if he has watched a video or not, but he tried for a similar thing.
right.
But he went to extremes. Uh, so he used to wait in an empty street around midnight. Okay. So cars would pass by, very empty streets. Like occasionally some car would pass by. So just jump on the car.
Oh my god.
In that costume, he would jump on the car. It's a moving car.
My
He would
god.
jump on it. He's putting his life in risk.
And the car driver's life in risk.
Yeah. That's just something that you need to think about, like, what am I doing?
See, so Kishore's case, he probably had an added benefit that he had some adults who obviously
Yeah,
wouldn't
so-
let you do this
We
nonsense.
used to think of, in the brainstorming session, we would only speak out if there's a very crazy idea. If not, we didn't even open our mouth as like, some random idea. Because we want some crazy ideas to come out. Then we'd filter out,
Correct.
which is safe for people also and us. And which is easy to execute. It shouldn't be complicated.
And this particular person who was jump on cars, he
Yeah.
was put behind bars, right?
Yeah, he was arrested there. Because one car driver was shit scared. He caught him there itself, called the cops, and was behind the bars.
I mean, you may think that this is a very exceptional case and this was for their specific genre of content, but I can give you tons of examples of people who wanted to be travel bloggers going into areas where they're not supposed to go.
Yeah, this is because they want more crazy things to be in their content.
Exactly.
Very limited people, whoever has access to it or has the courage to do these things, like they go into that side. That
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have heard stories of young creators, students who went on race bikes and killed themselves because
they want to put
they
out that
want to do
content.
something crazy.
Yeah.
Guys, once you get into that creator mindset, and if you've not
wake
yet built your brain, if your brain is still in the developing stage, you're exposing yourself wherein you will not understand what are the limitations and you may end up pushing through a boundary very quickly. I've heard of stories where gaming live streamer has live streamed continuously for 72 hours and just collapsed. I said permanent damage to his heart.
Hmm.
I've heard stories where the bike story, I'm sure everyone
the
knows.
recent one.
A recent one.
Yeah,
Uh,
he wanted to
he wanted
reach the
to
top speed.
reach the top speed on an expressway and of course couldn't control it. His
Yeah.
video is very scary to watch when you watch it.
Yeah.
These are scenes which you see on movies.
Because
These are real
as
life deaths.
as a creator, it's a good mindset to have, that you wake up and think about what do I create today
Right.
for my audience.
Right. But
Yeah,
as a student, you still haven't understood that what is the limits you're not supposed to cross.
yeah, because you are in that delusion saying that I need to do something great, create something very exceptional today.
Right.
But yeah, the limitations you don't have in your mind.
So these are some of the cons. We'll be doing another episode for students. If you want to be a YouTuber, how you should go about it. So subscribe for that. Let's now move on to job employees. Normal employees, normal
Yeah.
people who are working in jobs. So just the other day, Kishore, I had a friend. He's in a good job, a good software job. He worked hard, studied abroad, is working in a good corporate job. And he called me and he said, Nikhil, you're into YouTube, right? I was like, yeah, man, we help companies. We have our own YouTube channel. We help companies build YouTube. And he said, so I want to take this course. It's come up for $4,000 on how to become a YouTuber.
My God.
I want to have like a passive income stream. Should I take it up? What should I do and all?
Save the 4,000. That's income for you.
I was like, मेरे को दे दे. Because this guy, he's living abroad alone. He is working 50 hours a week in his job. He'll have to have at least 30 hours more in the week for himself, for management of his home, etc., etc. Probably another 20 hours to just cool down. And he wants to think of building YouTube as a passive income stream.
Probably what I assume is he's thinking of YouTube because I've seen successful YouTubers and he's tired of his corporate job.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to spend more time there. He wants to be a creator, earn more, and he wants his life to be more flexible. Yeah, that's a trap. And
Yeah.
see, what he has seen is true.
Yes.
What his imagination is correct.
Yes.
But to execute it, he is already in shortest time.
Yeah.
Because he knows that he's tired of the corporate world, corporate culture. He wants to get out of it. Why is he tired? Because he's not getting enough time to take a break,
Correct.
get out of that, take rest. Now he wants to put some more thing, start executing these things so that he's getting out of it. And the time needed to build a good YouTube channel, good content is a day is not enough for it.
100%. So if you're in that phase, look, first is avoid buying courses which are selling you a dream. Setting up a passive income stream on YouTube, if you have a full-time job, which is a hard job. The job which he's in is a deeply technical job. It will require full mental effort of his. It's highly unlikely that you will be successful doing that.
There will be exception for certain kind of jobs.
Correct.
That would be like people who are into very rare jobs.
Correct.
For example, some of the merchant navy guys, they have their own channels.
Correct.
Those content is great because they have very rare content that's like nobody sees a time lapse on a container ship.
So that comes back to our original point when we were saying, right? What is something which people have not seen?
Yeah.
First is that. Second is, do you have in your job time to show something which people have not seen?
And that's part of your job. You know,
And also
extra.
with merchant navy, we have a very popular pilot and a fitness guy who became huge. These kinds of jobs, they have spurts of high intense work and then they have a lot of free time.
Yeah.
So unlike a proper daytime job which you have as a software engineer or something, these kinds of jobs you have spurts of high intense work. Like a pilot, he will have a lot of prep. He will have the flight. He will land and then he'll have a lot of free time.
And these things are not visible to general public.
You will not know this. When you break down the routine, you will see they have hours and hours together of time slots which they can work on. Which is why some of these guys have been able to build out YouTube channels which are successful. A normal job, balancing it with a full-time YouTube channel where your goal is to make that into a monetizable YouTube channel where you're going to make money. A normal job and having a normal YouTube channel is fine.
That's just for your hobby.
That's for your hobby, for your satisfaction, you can do it. But a normal job with assuming that I'll build a full-time YouTube income stream is not going to happen. I can assure you of that. unless you're someone who is exceptionally talented, who understands the audience like this, who understood the algorithm like this, who understood editing, production in a few clicks, it is highly unlikely, no matter how many courses you take, it's not going to happen.
It should be seen as a business you're planning to set up. It should not be like, okay, I can create a channel on my phone, I'll start doing it. It's a business you're planning to set up.
Correct.
And business, so regular businesses, if you have certain amount of investment, you can start it from tomorrow. Start
Correct.
generating from that month.
Correct.
But YouTube is not that. You have 10 crores with you.
Yes.
As investment.
Yes.
And then it's the same process. You can hire some people to do things, but again, it's the same process because you as a creator should be on camera.
By the way, even if you come to a YouTube agency like ours and you tell, I have a big budget, I want to get viral tomorrow, we will tell you the same thing. It's not possible.
Yeah, because building a business overnight is not something
you'll have to. So the first thing is the time part is true for jobs as well. Full-time job and building a YouTube business is not going to happen, correct?
Yeah.
It
will be just be a hobby there.
Exactly. If you keep it as a hobby and if the channel picks up, great. In fact, there's some very good case studies of channels which you may not have heard of. I will try to link them in the description, which started as this. One of my favorite YouTubers today is this YouTube channel called Dave2D. He's a tech YouTuber.
Yeah.
And he had a full-time product design job. But when he was doing that full-time job, few days a week, he would commit to just creating simple tech videos on something he was already passionate about. So first was he had product design background. So he understood how products are designed and how electronics work and how manufacturing processes work. And then he would share updates on gaming laptops. It took him about 6-7 years to quit his full-time job.
He had also included a lot of his job expertise on his channel.
Exactly.
On the aesthetics.
Yeah.
Those things. So.
And Dave2D, imagine someone like him, who I believe is one of the best tech communicators on YouTube, has product design experience, took him 6 to 7 years to quit his job full-time. That just tells you the kind of effort needed for you to be successfully able to do it.
And for someone doing a regular job, which has zero correlation with YouTube content,
it'll probably take even longer. So if you want to do it as a hobby, great, do it. But don't assume that you'll generate sufficient income from it in the future. That's a very, very wrong assumption. And if someone is selling you that dream, he's selling you a wrong dream. He's scamming you.
And even also on the YouTube side, even they know the amount of inflow of new channels that are coming in.
Yeah.
And they're also making it harder to start generating revenue because they want to filter out the creators.
So if you're assuming, I'll generate revenue from shorts, for shorts to earn, so if you're in India, for example, if you want to earn $2,000 a month, which is about 1.5 lakh a month, you will have to generate billions of views.
And the eligibility
on shorts
to start earning.
To get eligible to earn, you'll have to generate billions of views.
Yeah. To have 3 million views in 90 days.
Yeah. So look, guys, it is possible to have a YouTube channel if you have an existing job. It is possible to make it monetizable, but it's not going to happen quickly. If you have a 6 to 8 year vision, if you are in a unique industry or you're showcasing some very unique content where you have unique expertise and you're showing something which people have not seen, these are the levels of checklists which you should tick to even think of leaving your full-time job and joining YouTube.
Yeah, rather than giving it up 1 or 2 years in the journey.
Yeah.
Struggling to it and then seeing no results and it's like...
And if
you've wasted enough time in that already.
And if your goal is to set up another business, you may be better off getting a higher ROI in that business, or maybe related to your job, taking additional consulting gigs, or building or rather screwing all of this, just upskilling yourself in your own industry will have a much better ROI than YouTube, correct?
Yeah.
Don't believe these random ass courses which tell you they will show you how to automate YouTube and all that stuff. They're scamming you.
So don't get influenced by them. Only if you have a desire to like communicate something to build an audience, be a personality that people will follow.
Yeah.
You have the personality of that kind, only then you can get into these things.
Exactly.
Don't just get influenced by the money part.
Exactly. The second part is most companies in their employee agreements will have some kind of limitations of the way you're representing yourself when you're a full-time employee of that company. And by mistake, if you say something which conflicts with the employer policies, you may end up putting your full-time job at risk. You have to be extremely careful about this. You cannot assume that freedom of speech and all that will come to save you. It'll come to save you as a citizen, but as an employee, the employer has right to fire you in any democratic country, in India and US,
Yeah.
wherever it is. So you do not want that. And I have seen cases where political opinions of someone has got them fired, and you may end up filing a case against the employer and maybe win it and get back your employment. My point is, by that time it would already be too late.
Yeah. The
time and money invested, the hassle, and if someone has fired you for that reason, the next time you try to get a job, there also it will end
Yeah.
up impacting. You don't want to get into these messes. So next problem which you may have is, when you're a job, you're in a more mature position, I'm assuming you'll have a family, you're putting yourself out there publicly. And in our case, it's our job, but we're very careful as to how much of our personal life we want to expose. You'll see a lot of influencers who've become big exposing their personal lives. And trust me, they of course earn a lot of fame and money, but I would never want that on my own kids or on my own family.
It's always a risk.
So if you go to my Instagram, the only personal posts, this is my personal opinion, but the personal posts which you'll find are either memes or some kind of educational videos. I've avoided from posting, any other videos, because you don't know from a privacy perspective when it will come and backfire on you. You know this, guys, you can check this as well. Influencers have got killed by crazy fans.
Because they're similar to what the celebrities face, the Bollywood celebrities face.
Correct.
But they have all the protection around them.
Correct.
Fans can't easily access them.
Correct.
But influencers, creators, those are part of public only.
Yeah.
You can easily get into their homes.
Correct.
See where they're traveling, where they're going, easily follow them. You don't have that kind of protection that the celebrities have. So everyone has access to you.
The last reason why you shouldn't be doing this is, especially when you're doing a full-time job, you may be better off not making a lot of personal sacrifices which you'll have to make to run a YouTube channel. So when I say that, I'm meaning family time, personal time, health time, just unwinding time. What you're seeing right now for us is, this is part of our day job.
Yeah.
Like this is what we do on a day-to-day basis, which is, it's when we end up taking a lot of breaks. But if you already have a full-time job and you're committing to doing this, you'll have very little scope to unwind. And as previously we mentioned, it is not a passive income thing. It's not set it and forget it. There's no random automation of YouTube channels.
And also, as we already spoke, people get influenced by this because they like the flexibility of time they get there. They get the freebies. They like the freebies they get.
Right, from brands.
Yeah. So they want to have all those things. But again, it's not something that
happens to 1.1% of the creators. I can tell you that.
And for the people who have spent 5-6 years in creating or building this channel, and your desire to be in that position
from day one,
and having a full-time job along with it, and need to balance your personal life as well.
You're setting yourself up for failure, guys, is what Kishore is trying to say.
In all directions, not only on the YouTube side.
Yeah. Your health, your personal, your emotional, your mental well-being.
So that how many ever months or years you try to build this, throughout the day, it all depends on how much endurance you have, how much stamina you have to keep going. In that process, you lose a lot of things. You lose family, you lose friends. All these things can happen. So if you're ready for all these things, like if your goal is like whatever happens, I'll stand strong and build my channel. And go ahead. So if you're with that strong determination, you'll figure out what has to be done.
Correct.
You'll figure out your content, you'll figure out your audience. Like I let go of everything to do this.
And one more thing, having that strong determination doesn't mean spending thousands of dollars on courses.
No.
That is, oh God. I sigh so much and I am not able to communicate. I have seen so many business people spend money on YouTube automation courses and YouTube courses and online social media courses. Guys, all of this content you will get for free.
There's a generation where everything is available for free online.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can spend so much. And if you should be spending on educational courses, it should be for very specific, tangible skill sets, like learning a specific software or learning a specific methodology, like a project management methodology like Agile, learning a new programming language, learning about a new platform, something which is more tangible. There is no such thing as we will teach you how to build a YouTube automation.
Yeah.
It's not possible. If he was able to do it, he would have done it hundreds of times, because there's a lot of money to be made on YouTube. Don't get us wrong in any way. The creator economy is growing and booming. There is 100% a lot of money to be made on it. But this is not the way.
Yeah. So even for my channel, I haven't gone to any courses or anything. It was only YouTube that I've used.
Correct.
To learn things.
Exactly.
And we were not too much focused on the revenue side, on the money side.
Correct.
We just wanted to do something, create something, build something. That's it.
The revenue was a byproduct.
Yeah, that's it. So if you're completely focused on it, second, I can have the channel and I can create my own courses now.
Just by showing the analytics of that.
That's it. That's how easy someone can start selling courses.
Yeah.
And it's not something that I'm part of the YouTube team, the product team who knows the in and out of YouTube. No, even the YouTube core team doesn't know in and out of it. Because
we've had the fortune of working with some incredibly smart Google folks from Google, and we can tell you for sure that they don't know in and out of YouTube.
Yeah, because it's not one person that's doing it.
Correct.
They built it into the system.
Yeah.
Over the
correct
period of so many years.
Yeah.
And it's not running by its own. Nobody picks a channel saying that, oh, I like this video, let me put it to trending. It's not like that. So it's not the
success is not determined by buying a course.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So courses are not something that you should be relying on for all these things. It's all your
it's going to be your experimentation. And one thing I will tell you, what we've learned on YouTube, and this is the only thing which has worked for sure. Creating something which people have not seen and experimenting like crazy. So both of us are engineers. I mean, India mein sab engineer hote hain. But one of the methodologies of engineering which I really love, which is so applicable on YouTube, is you have to have hypothesis, you have to have tests, you have to see results, you have to learn from results, and then you have to have new hypothesis, and you have to replicate this scientific method hundreds of times on your own, for your niche, for your target audience, and then hopefully you will be successful. This is the only thing which has worked, right?
Consistency.
Having consistency, having lots of hypothesis, consistently testing it out.
Yeah.
This is the only thing which will work. No course creator will be able to give you a sure shot way of making money on YouTube, for sure. Let's move on to the last part. This is our target audience, Kishore. Entrepreneurs, business owners, CEOs of companies. Why they shouldn't consider YouTube. So the first thing I have to say, and I tell this to most of our clients before we start engaging with them, is video creation, publishing, especially if you're a business, is going to be an expensive affair. And you cannot. So why would an entrepreneur consider video creation? If he has marketing channel set up, so he has SEO, he has social media,
get some business out of it.
He's getting some business already, and he wants to expand it. The expansion of the funnel, in terms of cost, the highest cost will end up becoming YouTube videos or videos.
Because you're not a student or a new creator We're just
Correct.
trying to test it out. You can't do recordings on your smartphone and just upload it and see if
Correct.
it works.
As a business owner, you'll have to showcase certain level of professionalism.
But it should match with your brand that you've already built.
Exactly. And unlike just writing a blog where the barrier to entry is having a good writer and having good topics, with video, you're talking about having a good writer, having good topics, plus having production, having editing, having publishing, having graphic design, having optimization. There's a lot of other skill set which come in. So the first thing is, don't start it because it's going to be an expensive affair. You'll have to commit expense not in just in terms of costs, but also in terms of time. One of the things which a lot of business owners come and tell us is, why can't you just hire a model and get videos done? And one thing I can tell you for sure, guys, if you're a business owner or entrepreneur, the only thing which works on YouTube, you need to have decent enough production. But what works on YouTube is authenticity. The moment I get a model in and I put a teleprompter, we can show you hundreds of videos which have not at all performed well. Superb production, superb editing, very good titles and thumbnails. They have just flopped.
Because they can't tell the story that the founders can tell.
And one more thing is, with video, you're seeing a lot of passion of the founder come out. You're seeing a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm about the problem he's trying to solve. You either have to be an entrepreneur, the founder of the business who is putting out content. I mean, I tell this to founders these days now. I'm so happy that this is happening. You guys can see WTF podcast by Nikhil Kamath and Nitin Kamath.
Yeah.
These guys are billionaires. Zerodha is huge.
Yeah.
Why do you think they are making time to come sit down and have conversations? Because that's what works on YouTube.
And they don't have any script to follow.
Of course not. So we stopped giving, we give topics. We feel like, hey, these topics is what I think your target audience will like. And then we like, boss, you're the expert, talk.
Yeah.
And a lot of founders are taken aback when we say this. Like, what? No, you have to give me script and this.
They're worried
and
that what if I speak something that's should not go out in public. But again,
you have to be willing to take that chance, man.
Yeah.
So
that's how it's not that from the first video itself, your video will go viral and your business will 2x, 3x, or 10x.
Exactly.
You're building another marketing channel for yourself, right?
Exactly. So that's an important part as an entrepreneur. The time commitment is quite a lot. The cost commitment is quite a lot. And you're building an entire new marketing channel. So you'll need to have a lot of patience. What do I mean by this? If you are a FMCG brand or you're in that space, you have spent a lot of time in building your distribution networks. If you sell something on Amazon or on Flipkart or on your own e-commerce store, you have spent a lot of time establishing those channels.
And you'd have faced a lot of hurdles over there, failed a lot of times.
And you'd have experimented and figured out. YouTube is going to follow the same journey. The audience of your customer, of your target audience, if you're selling a low-range product, if you're selling a mid-range product, if you're selling a premium product, for all of them is there on YouTube. I can assure you that. Every single person's YouTube feed is different and he gets recommended the kind of content he likes. Google and YouTube have every single one of these audience. The point is getting your videos recommended to them is the challenge. But once that starts happening, the ball doesn't stop. So you'll have to have a lot of patience for this to start performing for you. There have been cases where we've seen videos just take off from day one. And those are those unique situations which I told you, wherein you're showing something which people have never seen before and people want to see. We have a small case study ourselves. We started a channel called Auction Dunya just a couple of months back. It reached 1,000 subscribers in just 2 months and 37,000 plus views very, very rapidly. We were able to do it because we had an understanding of YouTube. But more than that, the idea itself was so powerful. That was the main thing, right?
Yeah.
More than our expertise of YouTube.
Yeah, and we also decided not to use all our expertise on the production side on.
This was another interesting thing. We were so confident on the idea that we were like, dude, let's put the lowest production effort, the lowest editing effort on this and just put the content out. You can go check out the channel. We'll link it in the description. But the point I'm trying to make is, as a business owner, depending on what niche you're in, depending on what business you're in, it is going to take a lot of time. Yeah. It is going to take a lot of cost. It's going to take a lot of iteration. But the goal is, if you want to establish YouTube as a marketing channel for you, you'll have to commit to that journey.
Yeah.
Your audience is there. Finding that audience is the challenge. You'll always get some positive markers. You'll randomly see a video pop up. It'll end up getting thousands of views and you'll get a lot of inquiries.
Yeah.
But then to figure out, to make it a repeatable process is what's going to take time. Anything
Correct,
else you want to add on this, Kishore?
That's it. You need to be consistent, see what's working, what's not working, keep replicating it. And it's not a short journey.
Yeah. The second part I want to talk about is the biggest thing which I've seen businesses make a mistake of is they always start thinking about YouTube videos as ads. I don't know why.
So I think that's the idea of what video means to them.
So this is one of the reasons why you should not start a YouTube channel if your goal is to just put out ads. Might as well just dump all of the content once and just forget about it, because ads will never work on YouTube if they're stupid and if they're like your typical TV ads. They just don't work unless you put a lot of marketing dollars behind it.
That's why ads are created. It's you need to push to people to watch them. Generally people don't prefer watching them.
Yeah. I tell this analogy. You can see on our landing page we have a video of our services, but one of the things we keep telling people is, on YouTube, as a business owner, you should not be thinking about the ads which come between the TV show. You have to be thinking about what can be that TV show for your target audience. And that's a unique advantage you will have over most of your competitors. Most of them will be thinking about ads.
Yeah.
But if you can give a unique insight, a very good example which I can tell about is one of our clients who is into authentication softwares. Such a niche, such a crazy niche. You will not have more than, I don't think he'll have more than 10,000 customers in India.
Yeah.
But then the topics which he's covering, they are not ads. They are like detailed explanations of supply chain issues in specific industries. These kind of topics, even if just 100, 200 people see, the ROI is received. As a business owner, you should not be chasing views and subscribers, or you should not be chasing ads, just random commercial ads.
Yeah.
You should be chasing this, वो जो target audience है, उसको video दिखाना है.
And on the other side, even this content is being pushed to his customers.
Yes.
Parallelly, his customers are getting aware of all these things about what technology it is.
Yes.
How can I be safe from these counterfeit products?
Correct.
So in turn, his customer is getting more business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So his revenue is also increased.
So you'll have to look at YouTube like that. It's not an advertising platform. You have an ability to build your own video library and content library. And that's what you should be looking at. You can really consider this as an education platform or an entertaining platform for someone. And that someone can be anyone. Like your target audience can be anyone.
Yeah. And people are mostly looking for YouTube for learning things, knowing things, than just for entertainment.
Exactly. Moving on to the next part, which is the last point I have for entrepreneurs or business owners, why you should not start a YouTube channel. If you do not, if you have a thin skin and you cannot take criticism and feedback. A simple example of this is just open Ola's YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
Ola Scooter YouTube channel. The comment stream is flooded with complaints.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is, once you start putting yourself out in the public, if you have bad processes as a business, people will not react well. People will, of course, get angry. And because it's on public domain, they will comment on it and they will blast you and all of that. So be aware of this. If you feel you can delay the process, it's better you delay the process longer.
Because you know if there's any gaps in your business,
it'll get exposed.
Yeah.
For sure.
And if, as if process are not built to resolve it,
yeah,
your brand image is gone there.
Yeah, your brand image is gone. It's very, especially in a country like India. If you're an Indian watching this, rebuilding that brand image is going to be really, really hard. One last thing, some businesses have made this mistake sometimes they've exposed way too much about their business strategies and insights, which people have copied and replicated. So just be a bit more careful.
Mhm.
Uh, you do not want to give away your customer names, for example,
Yeah.
which where competitors can poach. See, you're putting things in a public domain, so all the negatives of the public domain things are applied on YouTube as well. The difference is on YouTube, sometimes it can get magnified and you'll not even realize it.
Yeah. And it'll go to a stage where you can't stop it.
So there you have it, guys. Reasons of why you shouldn't start a YouTube channel as a student, as an employee, and as an entrepreneur. We are going to do a lot more videos on why you should start a YouTube channel, how you should go about it.
Yeah.
What are some things which we've learned we'd love to share with you, and what we're experimenting on. But be careful, and especially students. The other folks, I think, employees and entrepreneurs can take a hit because they are a lot more mature. But students, I feel really sad when I see some of them go after creating YouTube channel and just end their self-esteem for their life.
Yes.
So there you have it. If you have any questions about YouTube or anything we can help you out with YouTube, let us know in the comment section below. If you want our company to help build your YouTube channel, do get in touch with us. See you all in our next video. Bye, Kishore. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.